All right, I'm going to show a few things. So working on the pricing, a pricing table, and I was using cards for that, and decided, no, cards. This is nothing more than HTML and CSS with some buttons. There are a lot of better examples out there of things that pricing tables that can be built than what I'm capable of. So I went out there, found some examples, found these 10 free CSS snippets. Found this page, which you've got these examples. I like this one, material design, and then we can go into CodePen here. If you're not familiar with CodePen, go check it out. And let's see, where is that? Here, and this is actually a different example, but it gives you this these windows to play around with it and get it just the way you want. And so let's go look at Page Designer. So we have our pricing HTML. Now, not too hard to modify, so basically we just got a lot of divs, a lot of classes of HTML. And what we've done is we've made the buttons clickable by changing what it gave me to type equals button and putting an on-click event. And this is a good example to learn, how to basically modify buttons. Using HTML and CSS from you find out in the web or things you've built. You're going to need to be able to add buttons, and you want them to say submit the page and set the request value and to the button name. That's how it's done. And so clicking these buttons then runs, one of these processes. So sign up free plan just goes to the sign up page, but sets the request. If the request value is button free sign up, then it goes to the sign up page and sets the requested plan value to free. This is all going to go into the K2 template. These are things that are going to have to merge from ChartDensity back into the K2 template, these changes. That should be fun. My idea there is I'm going to copy ChartDensity, delete, multi-delete, because you can delete multiple pages at one time. Delete the pages that are mine in ChartDensity and leave all the K2 template pages essentially. And then export and do a comparison, and then go manually, most likely apply those changes. So do a diff on the two exports, and that should help me if I've missed anything, because a lot of times I change little details. I'll show you another one in a minute. And I have to make sure that that gets into the template. Otherwise, I'll just end up finding it again and keep changing it. And contact sales is going to redirect to a page. So that's basically all we have. Some branches, and then our custom CSS. Actually, that alias should be pricing. Save. So there's a little fix, although that page is not in the template yet. K2 demo app. So here's our CSS. I think I played around a little bit with ChatGPT, and it gave me a center row, so I did modify that because I was having trouble centering everything. That was, there's a lot of jokes running around that ChatGPT is true AI because it can center things. So I am using ChatGPT, more and more through the day, especially for stuff like this. Or if I'm in my CSS and I can't recall, what the options are, like what are the options for margin in a class? It'll tell me. In fact, I could have, let me show you something here. We'll go back and look at our HTML. So this class container at the top, there's no class container in the CSS file. So I don't know what that is, but when I tried to change this, it made a difference. And so I would have to go and, go into inspect mode and figure out what that is. But, asking ChatGPT, it quickly said, hey, there's some default classes that different frameworks use, and this is probably one of them. And so kind of gives you answers like that without having to read through a lot. You can just ask the question, you get an immediate response. All this information is completely wrong, of course. I'm just building a template. We are using, in the HTML, I'll show you something. We are using app name dot. If there's a global variable already for that, let me know. I don't think if I go to global variables, I don't think there's an app name. You can get the app name. So that could be a function or something, but I don't think the app name is at least one of these variables. And so I store that in a global, on my global page, we have a field called app name, which gets app name using PL SQL, and then it's available everywhere I want to use it. And so we can inject it right there like that. Now, one other thing I want to show, let's see, go back here. On the change, on change password. When we were changing our password, that actually wasn't hooked up to anything. After you change your password, nothing happened, so I fixed that. But I wanted to go to a home page, and I was hard coding it to like home, but home is not, depending on your app, you can go set that in your application settings, what you want your home page to be. And so after we click button change pass, we're going to submit the page. Yeah, let's go. And then we're going to go to, and this says go to page. I shouldn't say that. So yeah, this is a little detail that I need to change. Go to your applications homepage. So where are we going? So I have at G home link here because, you know, hey, that I was testing this. You know, with this work, I'm not actually sure what's in there. I didn't inspect that to see what the value is. But if you put nothing here, you know, that's an error. But if you put nothing there, it will go to your default homepage, whatever you've set. And so at one time I was like going to, you know, this one, hard-coded. But we don't want that. We want, because you may change that, and we don't want to have you going here to change this. So anyway, what you can do is just put, you know, anything in there. It doesn't know that that's not a real URL. It's just blank, and it allows you to put the blank in there, and it will redirect to whatever your homepage is in your when we come into our shared components, UI, user attributes. And so whatever you have here, that's what it's going to go to. In this case, it is 2010 for me. What app am I in? Am I in? Yeah, I'm in ChartDensity. Okay, so yeah, I do have that temporarily set to that. But if I change it to datasets, it would work. Okay, and I will change that probably to datasets. Okay, so the next steps are, you know, basically, and this is just to build out the I'm not actually going to be charging anytime soon for this. I'm well aware that the application is not something anybody would pay for. But what we're doing is using the application to build out all this stuff that you need when you build applications so that everybody else can build cool applications, and quickly you'd be able to import this pricing page, change it, whatever, you'd see how it works, and you know. But what we need is free sign up. We'll take you to the sign up page, and you're just going to go right in. And then if you say, I want to pay $20, start my 30-day trial, you're just indicating that you want to go on the pro plan. And you could, there's different ways you could do this. You can come here, have them sign up or sign in, and you've got to pass this fact that they're interested in the pro plan. And from sign up, normally we would go to like an email confirmation page where you can't log in until you confirm your email. That's configurable. We would go there, but we could redirect them out to Stripe, collect their info, and come back, bring them back into the application, and then they would be able to then they would be on the pro plan and all that kind of good stuff. And it would be, and you can start a free trial in Stripe. And then enterprise, would go to a contact page. Like, okay, so that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is simply allow them to start the pro plan for them in your app. And so they're going to go to sign up, and you're going to start pro plan, but you're not going to get any billing info from them. And I would suggest this at the beginning, right? I mean, this is easier because now we don't have to go to Stripe. So then we get them in the application. And if they don't use the application at all after, say, a day, are you really going to do you really want to automatically sign them up for the plan? I mean, that's going to make people angry. That's going to be a headache. When you get to having so many users that you don't know what to do, then you may want to do this. But basically, I'm going to create a way in the app to say what plan they're on and what the trial period is and all that. And then you can have some kind of administrative interface or just query that tells you these people, it's time to pay. And maybe there'll be maybe on a login, or when they come log in, we'll have some kind of message display that, hey, your free trial is ended on this date. If you want to continue, please go sign up. And then we have one visit to Stripe and back, and eventually that, or you automatically downgrade them to the free plan. Now, the problem with downgrading is if they have more resources than what they are allowed, how do you get rid of those resources and things like that? So then you've got to think about some things like that. But ultimately, I would just put them on the pro plan. I don't think I'm going to go to Stripe, and then we'll have and maybe and then you have to think about if there's no trial. But I don't recommend that. I recommend people should be able to get in and see things and use things for a while before you charge them for it, unless it's like intellectual property. That's a different case. You give somebody access to some serious intellectual property, you're going to charge them right up front. But in that case, and maybe I'll work through that example. But for me, for right now, since I'm building this for my needs, I just need to be able to have somebody specify a plan, make sure you can get to Stripe at some point and back. So that's what I think I'm doing. I'm kind of thinking this out loud as I do this. So I think that's what I'm going to do for today. I'm just going to implement a free trial period somehow, and maybe roll that into K2. But usually what will happen is I'll put this in ChartDensity, and then if I like it, I'll eventually roll it into K2. But it'll just be in my app at first. So whatever tables I have for plans or something like that. That's another thing. I started to build the plans in a table, and you're putting all these things in fields, and I'm like, this is just stupid. I mean, this is just text. Let's just update this, and we'll just have something a lot simpler on the back end. So that's kind of the idea there. So, all right, that's what I'll be working on today. Hope you have a great day too. Thanks.